Hey gang, Antonio Smith here, the Sellionaire, and welcome back. We're here on another live stream, and we have a tenant and landlord issue. We call it tenant wars, where a landlord get himself in a situation to where it could become a legal matter and it can cost tens of thousands of dollars. We show you how to avoid matters like that and getting into disputes with tenants. If you want to learn how to start building wealth with real estate, click on the link below and get access to my free masterclass. It's going to explain everything you need to know to start making money in real estate and avoid costly mistakes like we're going to talk about tonight. So let's hop right into it. We have this tenant and they took it to the court of public opinion, their matter with their landlord on some of the issues they're having. I'm going to narrate conversation and at the same time tell landlords on some of the things they can avoid making a mistake like this with this tenant. So you could definitely follow this particular tenant on Facebook. I'm going to show their information, fair use as well. I look like a couple there, a nice couple. Just going through some tenant wars with the landlord. So as you know, we show you guys how to avoid costly mistakes like having an ironclad lease inside of your leasing agreement so that you can avoid costly mistakes. And from their conversation, I'm going to uncover a lot of the things that you can avoid right now to start building real wealth in real estate. So let's hop right into it. Let's hear what this couple has to say.
Well, hey guys. I wanted to talk about something that's really on my mind. You gotta be careful who you're renting from.
And who you rent to as well. Nothing against this couple here, but you have to be very meticulous of who you rent to because it's like a marriage. You can be married to this person for 6 months, 12 months, and if they don't start off correctly, you're stuck with them.
Like we're going through some issues right now with our landlord, and it's driving me insane. No matter if you pay your rent on time and all that stuff, it doesn't even matter if you're a good tenant. They still could treat you like crap. They still could treat you like crap. And that's what's messed up. So that's a little higher. Yeah. Or it goes down.
This is a matter that's waiting to blow up. And that looks like they got some SEO too. It says tenant versus crazy landlord. That's even a better title. I'm going to use that. Really cool. So, as this situation starts to brew, it's like a slow thing that boils up.
That, that, yeah, that's the brightest it goes.
Hmm.
I just feel like people take advantage of people being nice and hardworking. They take advantage of us people, which isn't right. Like, for instance, like we just found out that our stove, we can't even use our stove no more. It almost caught the house on fire. And it's not even because of us. It's because they have some old, what's it called?
Outdated.
Now, one of the things I would suggest to never put appliances in the property. I know it seems like a great thing to do. You get some new appliances, you get a tenant, but most likely that tenant's not going to take care of those appliances. And you're going to go in there and do an inspection, and you're going to realize you just bought some appliances 6 months ago, and it looks like it's been there for 5 years. They don't keep it up. One of the things that we stopped doing was putting appliances in properties. And even if you have Section 8, it doesn't make a big change in what you get, maybe 10 or 15 bucks, and it's not worth the hassle. When it breaks, they want you to replace it with a brand new one. Now it becomes a liability and cuts into your rent. So I always tell the tenant we do not provide refrigerators, stoves, dishwashers. They have to do that. It also gives them a buy-in. People are more amped to take care of the stuff if they have actually make an investment. That's what we found. We started doing that years ago, but we stopped doing it years ago. It actually got a better tenant from not getting the appliances in these properties. Let's keep it going.
They didn't want to redo, and they didn't want to put new ones in when they rented out their house from the first place, and they used old equipment on us, and now all of a sudden we gotta wait for a new stove, and we don't know how long it's gonna take.
Yep. And the stove could have, it was like an electrical issue, so it could have hurt our child.
It could have hurt their children. He's rubbing it in. He's like, we could have really sued you guys. It could have hurt us. It could have hurt our family. I don't know why you guys are playing. He's possibly right. A lot of times you have to take these things to court, and most of the time they don't listen to the landlord in court. All the tenant have to do is go in there with a sob story or show any type of proof or dispute the matter, and you're not getting paid for 3 to 6 months. You're out of rent, and you got somebody living in your house calling the shots. So be careful with those types of things when dealing with tenants.
Something like that could have killed our child.
There was a burnt mark on the wall from the stove.
Burnt a hole through the back of the electrical part, burnt a hole through the back of the metal panel into the wall. So it was arcing and creating an electrical spark on a metal stove.
Our landlord was very argumentative, very rude, very toxic. We were just trying to fix the problem. And then our lease is not even up until April, so we messed up. It's really my fault. I signed a lease because we didn't have nowhere to go yet. We didn't think about where we was going to move to yet. So I was like, let me just renew our lease for another year. You get what I'm saying? So our lease start in April. It's not even April yet. And I asked her,
do you think a tenant like this is going to stick around for 12 more months and pay you in peace? Are you going to have peace with a tenant like this? Not likely. In situations like this, you have to have some type of person that can help mediate and get them back on good standing if there's a possibility. When something like this starts to brew, it starts to affect not only the payments, but you got to think about you have your place at risk as well. You got people staying in your property, so now they can take things in their hand, and you got a moving liability in your property that you don't have control of. So you got to consider that.
Void and just move out before April then. And she said, no, we already signed the lease. Our signature is on it. So because of that, we can't move, period.
She wanted us to be trapped.
So we trapped here with all this complicated stuff.
Don't trap a tenant. Simply make sure you have an ironclad lease in place and let that be your code moving forward. Everything's in writing, and we provide that inside of our training. If you have a place you want to rent out, at least that we've used on hundreds of properties, and it has created great tenants throughout the years because this process gives them everything that we expect from them, how to communicate with us, what if something happens, who to communicate with, and we give them a whole code. And it sounds like this tenant didn't really have all those things in place. Let's continue.
Another year.
And then the rent went up over $100. Like she went up almost nearly $200 for our rent.
Even though she lied about the rent to begin with. Our rent originally was supposed to be $1,600. And then she tried to say, oh, we have to pay trash separately. We have to pay trash and HOA. She said the HOA is $50 and the trash is like $25 or something like that. Come to find out, the HOA is only $25 or $30 a month. So she lied to us about how much the HOA costs. I'm not saying names, but they're Indian owners. What we have found out is that a lot of people from Indian descent that are older generation people that own these houses are very, very...
They could be very evil. Let's cut to the chase. Yeah. They could be very evil. And it's not right at all. It's not right because there's good, loyal ass tenants like ourselves that pay our rent every month on time.
Every month.
We don't do late fees.
A whole year straight, every month.
And then they treat us like that. Now I'm trapped and stuck here for another year.
Do you think a tenant like this is going to stick around for another year and take care of your place. It seemed like they have a couple of different discrepancies. There's nothing wrong with going up on the rent, but you typically want to have that in your lease that is subject to go up and give them 30 to 60 days. If possible, what you pay is what you're covering and what you put in that ironclad lease that matters. It doesn't matter if you're making a profit on that. It's your place. As long as you got it in the ironclad lease, it's none of their business what the amount is.
All because she don't want to void out the contract, knowing that we're good tenants. She knows she gonna get the money from us. She knows that, compared to somebody if they move in brand new and she don't know how their history is and she don't know if they gonna pay their rent on time and all that stuff. So basically she'd rather just trap us into here for another year, even though April is not here yet.
And the messed up part about it is that she wants a 60-day notice if we're going to leave. But normally when somebody requires a 60-day notice, you need to have your lease agreement at least 90 days or more in advance to know what the situation is going to be. She didn't even send us the new lease until
last month.
We were within 50 to 45 days. We were well within the 60-day.
Now, whose issue is that? When we do the ironclad lease walkthrough, we make sure they have a copy of it. We make sure they sign off that they received the copy so that this is not an issue. We're not trying to trick them to be in the place. So you want to make sure, you're not trying to trap them. They want to live there because they enjoy the place. We want them to make it their home. We don't want them to feel forced to stay. So it comes down to communication. It sounds like there's been a breach in communication in this scenario.
Range that she sent the lease out. So it's like she didn't even give us we didn't even have a 60-day notice from her the time she was supposed to send the lease. We should have had the lease. That way we could have sat on it for a month to decide what we wanted to do.
We want to have a chance to, when the lease is coming up to renewal, I like to reach out and make sure we have a good communication with that tenant. So if they want to stay or not, so we'll be prepared to put it back on the market or know where they are at. And we typically go for either 30 to 60-day notice so that we'll have enough time to prepare, get the property on the market. And after they move out, we give up to 30 days for us to inspect the unit, and then they get the refund back. So you want to have all those types of things in place when you're leasing out to someone. If you're trying to build a real estate empire, it's important that you understand that there's a lot of legal things like your lease that you want to have in place. You want to have an ironclad lease in place, not one of these $10 Office Depot or Staples leases that you can just print out. There's a lot of stipulations you want to add into that lease. With the ironclad lease that we have, you're able to use it in real time. It covers a lot of the issues that could come up when dealing with a tenant so that you can avoid issues like that. So if you want to learn more on how to do that, make sure you click on the link, get access to our free masterclass, and book a call with one of our consultants so we can help you so that you're not having tenants like this and you can avoid costly mistakes like this and making sure your tenant's happy. That's what it's about. When you have happy tenants, you got happy money.
Got trapped, and we
In cases like this, there's lawyers that will represent these types of tenants for free. Usually judges pity them and will let them stay in your place. Situations like this can be avoided by not just communicating properly and having an ironclad lease in place, but having a protocol in place and communicating properly with this tenant to put this fire out, because there are companies out there that could give them legal advice and represent them absolutely free. And now you're in a situation where you have to get in a lawyer. All the lawyer have to know is, oh, there's this greedy landlord that's taking advantage of you guys. Whoa, we got a case. It can cost you tens of thousands of dollars really quick when you have a tenant in a scenario like this. So it's always good to sometimes just even buy them out. Like, hey, what do you want? What do we need to do? Do you want your deposit back? Let's make a deal. Keys for the place. Let's switch it out. Keys for needs. So if if you're going to return the keys, let's just give you your deposit back. Let's part ways as friends. It's not like you guys have been here for a while. Unfortunately, it seems like we've had a breach in our agreement. We're having some issues. we don't want this to get too big and out of order and out of place. Let's go ahead and resolve this before it gets out of hand really quick. Let's keep it going.
Like, make us pay. And then on top of it, we don't know when our stove is going to be fixed. So no cooking or nothing like that. But yes, do you want your rent?
No appliances. Do not put appliances in places. That's another excuse not to get paid.
So we're not going to pay rent until our stove is fixed. We have a right for that. I believe so. But we need a lawyer. Seriously, we need a lawyer on our team because these Indians, I'm not saying every Indian, I'm sorry, but our landlord, they're the one that is very evil to us right now.
They want us to pay $100 service call fee every time somebody comes out to fix a problem.
You got a stove, maybe they can't cook right now for their family, and it's inconvenienced them. So you got a stove that you got to replace. So you got $500 stove. Now, if you have a insurance service, they're going to charge you about $100, $150 to check it and see if it can be fixed. If you're going to charge $100 for a service call, you got to have that in your lease as well. It shouldn't be any random things just popping up. As you can see, it's starting to brew up. They're talking about they can't cook. They're not able to be happy in their rental. So they're talking about lawyers right now. So this is something that you want to avoid, to continually get checks coming in.
That's not even our problem.
That they should have fixed before they rented out their property.
This is the second time we've had an electrical issue. She's berating us, talking about we have to pay $100 service call fee if somebody has to come out to fix things wrong with their house. We didn't cause the oven circuits to melt and go through the wall. We didn't cause outlets to not work and something to be wrong with the breaker. Those are issues with this place that are just things that they could have done to fix. But even the guys that came out, that if it wasn't for them, they wouldn't even have got us a new oven.
No, if it wasn't for them, they looked out for us, and they're Hispanic.
People love America so much.
And I always tip my hat off to the Hispanic. They work their asses off. They are very loyal people.
That they charged them $200 to go into a house and clean up the house and everything. And they talking about, oh no, $200 is too expensive. We'll give you $100.
$200. That's so reasonable and cheap. Like, really? You could have given the Hispanic their money?
Shout out to the Hispanics out there working hard. That's subjective, whatever you negotiate is what you get. Let's keep it going.
But then the guys say, I gave them $100 today. And they were so thankful. Like, the guy was ready to be emotional. He was so thankful and so grateful. Like, they didn't have to argue, fight for their money, nothing. Some of these, and that's another reason why too, I don't know if the Spanish people, I don't know what their situation is, but obviously they feel they can't fight it. They got to take what they get. There's something wrong with that.
Yeah, they've been misled and misleaded, and they've been abused. They've been neglected, and it's not right.
They've been misled. Don't be misled out there and abused, okay? Don't do it.
It's not right for them either. It's a real sad situation.
Shout out to this couple. I'm not poking fun or anything like that, because this is a issue. When you're not happy in your place, it can become a problem in your life, because it's a big part of your health, a big part of your mental, a big part of everything around you. So hopefully this couple can get this resolved with their landlord. And I'm here to help landlords not get in a situation where you go into war with the tenant, because it just never works out. A situation like this can be avoided. If you want to learn more on how to avoid issues, click on the link, get access to my free masterclass, and it's going to show you a lot of things that you need to know to avoid things like this. So click on the link right now, get access, and book a call with one of my associates so that we can help you start building wealth in real estate today. Do not argue with tenants, because you can never come back from that. Use the paperwork, use the contracts, use the agreements. Do not argue with tenants. Even if they're not paying you, do not argue with them. Take the legal route. Do not go to the house. Do not pound on the door. Do not threaten them because something like this could happen to you. But I want you to avoid that. Make sure you watch the master class to learn how you can avoid things like that so you can build wealth in real estate. Sleep well at night, go on vacation, drinking a pina colada by the beach somewhere, and not dealing with something like this.
Lease, she want to avoid talking to him because, I don't know if you know how Calvin could be when he's upset and he's right and he got a point to prove. He's going to get to his point.
Yeah.
And
one thing I tell my members to never get mad at your money, because you have someone in your place, and if you argue with them and get mad at them, sometimes you can never come back from in the heat of the moment. So give it time, think about it, have a middleman in place to actually talk to the tenant. I always have a middle person to talk to the tenant because we don't think the same many times. Most tenants want to be taken care of, and some of them are very demanding. Me, that's a hardworking person, and I think totally different. Not saying they're not hardworking, but it's just not good for them to be able to reach out directly to you as an owner. Just have a middle liaison in there to bounce off of. That gives you time to think about your approach and to explain to them what they should do. So never really talk to the tenant, handle things legally, and have a middle person like a management company in between to help you communicate with the tenant as well, because you don't want to get mad at your money.
and knowing her, she couldn't cover up her lies. She can't cover up her lies with him, but she definitely could try to do it with me because I'm the calmer one, I guess.
She said, "Oh no, I don't want to talk to you, and my husband don't want to talk to you." The messed up thing about it is, excuse me, but this lady, she's not even on the lease. She's not even on it. It's her husband.
It's her husband that's on the lease, and she's just his assistant.
We don't even have a contract with her.
So we can't even talk to our real landlord. We have to go through her.
And then the landlord, they called the landlord, and the landlord telling him, "Don't talk in front of us." Why would you act that way with good tenants? You got people out here that are squatting in houses, making good landlords go months without getting paid. The good people that pay rent on time, no matter what's going on.
Do you want to go month to month without getting paid? Do you want a squatter in your place? Or do you want us to pay that rent?
I swear how hard it is, because God knows it's hard for us. It's not easy. 2 kids, work, all that.
When something like this is going on, it definitely can affect the marriage for sure.
You got to deal with a complicated ass landlord that you pay your responsibilities. It's really criminal what happens to people in this world. It sucks when you try to do the right thing. And no matter what you do, there's always things that's out of your control that affect your day-to-day life.
If you know someone, or if you can help us in this situation before April, we would really appreciate it, because
April is when the rent is due next. This landlord is facing the possibility of not getting paid, and I don't want you to be in a position like that. Make sure to book a coaching call with me if you're trying to be a landlord and avoid mistakes like this. Watch the webinar. It's a free masterclass we put together. Click on the link, watch that, and book a call with us so you can avoid costly mistakes.
She did call to apologize after she calmed down. She finally gave some apology.
Best believe they're recording everything, they're screenshotting everything, and everything is being documented. Don't think, if you made a mistake and said the wrong thing, that they don't have it. So that's why I say take some time, think about the scenario, and come back with ironclad lease that's already in writing.
She called to try to record some conversation and say what she had to say, and don't let us respond. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys know you're supposed to pay this now. Okay, bye.
She had no heart. That's what it looked like. It's no heart at all for her.
It's all about money.
It's just about our money for her, and that's it. We would appreciate it if you guys could refer us to anybody. Share this video if you want to.
Any legal aid, legal advice.
We would take it.
Think about the scenario. They could get free legal advice and legal assistance right now in this particular situation. There's lawyers out there who take on to this, and all they have to do is find out who you are. They're going to automatically see if you got insurance. They're going to automatically see how many units you own. They're going to automatically look you up and see, oh, we got an opportunity to make some money by suing this person. So don't put yourself in a scenario like this where all of a sudden inside of your asset become a nightmare. Learn the ways how to avoid stuff like this. Click on the link, book a call with us to avoid scenarios like this and actually start getting paid and building wealth with real estate. Hopefully they can get this resolved and move on. Sometimes you just got to tackle this situation head on before it gets too far. Now you're not going to get paid for 3 to 6 months or more, and then you're going to have to get a lawyer. That's going to cost you about $5,000 to $10,000 right after, and it can keep going up because it goes into litigation after that time. So avoid costly mistakes when you're becoming a landlord and starting to build wealth in real estate by doing it the right way the first time. Click on the link, get access to our masterclass where we show you how to avoid costly mistakes like this so that you can have success in the real estate game. All right, we'll see you on the next one.